Hi, my name is Suhas Gopinath. I'm the CEO and President of Globals Incorporated. It's my privilege to be here on Vineet Nair's blog. I've been a fan of Vineet Nair and I've always considered him as my mentor, especially after reading his amazing book, Employee First, Customer Second. I started my company at the age of 14 from a middle class family, from an internet shop. I started the company because I didn't have a computer, and I always was looking up to my friends who all had their home computers, and I too wanted to be in the social circle of my other friends because I always used to be considered as an odd man out because of the fact that I didn't have a home computer, and they all used to think that I couldn't speak in the wavelength as they do. So I one fine day I happened to see an internet shop that was not open from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. in the afternoon, and my school used to be over at about half past noon in the afternoon. I had a pocket money of like 15 rupees every month, and I felt that if I had to use this internet shop, I have to pay like about 100 rupees every hour, which I couldn't afford. So I thought maybe the best thing one could do is to evaluate opportunities. So I went to the internet shop owner and I requested him that if I could manage the shop in his absence whenever he was shut down the shop for his lunch break. And the internet shop owner was completely zapped down, and he was really impressed. So he agreed to this deal where he indicated that whenever he has to go out for lunch, I could manage the shop, and in exchange, I will have access to internet for free of cost. And of course, it is how I started to evaluate every opportunity around me as a leader and as an entrepreneur. And I thought that how well I could monetize my skills, and at the same time, how well I could utilize these opportunities around me. I always believe that leadership is not about we standing in the front and asking the people to follow us, but I always felt leadership is something where you stand in the back and you ask or you mentor the people who are ahead of you. You navigate the people who are ahead of you. So you act as a guiding light to the people who look up to you. When I started the company at a very young age, like 14, I always used to see that it was be extremely very hard for somebody as young as me, and if I had to recruit somebody who was in their 20s or 30s, because they always used to feel that uh, how could I work under someone who is like half of my age. So I always believed in any organization, it is very essential that we do not nurture an organization where we emphasize on the subordinate or we emphasize on the boss or we emphasize on the designation the individual holds. But I always felt that we have to build up an ecosystem in an organization where we can emphasize on a flat hierarchical system, which means that there will certainly be the reporting structures, but of course there may not be a system of a subordinate or a boss, so that employee feels that he's not working under someone, but he's working he's working with someone, and at the same time. I always used to feel that with the flat hierarchical system, as we set up in our organization, we were able to drastically reduce attrition inside the company. We were able to nurture entrepreneurship within the organization and sense of ownership of our employees. Because I always felt that it's not necessary that you need to set up a company or you need to own a company to be an entrepreneur or to be called as an entrepreneur. You still can be an entrepreneur even without not owning a company, but as far as you can add value to the organization that you're working for as a responsible professional, you are still an entrepreneur. So it's not necessary that you still need to own a company to become an entrepreneur, but as far as you could exhibit that sense of ownership and that entrepreneurial spirit for any organization that you may be working for, you still are an entrepreneur. Of course, with this, I always felt that, especially in the next generation leadership, we still cannot we still cannot have the same way of leadership where it used to be an extremely vertical hierarchical system. Uh, the supervisors used to always had to shadow their subordinates. But I always felt that in the next generation leadership, we have to focus on entrepreneurship and entrepreneurship. We have to ensure that we're not standing uh, we're not standing ahead of our employees or the people, but we're standing in the back of the road to navigate them.